Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be putting a lot more emphasis on Fantastic because my alternate account has managed to hit rank 800. So, at rank 800, it takes over 2 million rank experience to actually rank up again, so you need to play quite a bit at this point in time. Mantastic is at rank 832, so the difference in actual rank numbers is not very high, but Mantastic has 533.5 million, whereas I have 462. So I have approximately maybe 73 million experience difference. So with only 32 ranks, it's about a 72 million difference in experience. So it's going to get very challenging to continuously rank up. And those who have obviously hit rank 900, rank 1000, they take a small eternity to rank up at this point in time. So this video is basically just going to be a box tour, basically just showcasing you what I have in my figurative box, the teams I use, as well as how I organize it. So the way I organize my monster box is I have the not set folder sorted by the sort feature, which is favorite, attribute, rare. This mimics as best as possible the old favorite sorting pattern, and that's basically just what I've been used to. I've played for I think 1,350 days on Mantastic, so I've been playing for quite some time, so I'm just used to it, and the change was not welcomed, unfortunately. But that's how I sort my primary monster box. I put my prizes, like my radar dragons, basically I just have been feeding them tans plus duplicates in order to awaken them. Gaia Dragon clearly has a lot. Noah Dragon could be a little more. Noah Dragon with lots of skill ups could be potentially beneficial. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll do the Zeus dragons later. I think I have enough light tans now. But the idea is like I just put my random prizes in there. I think Mantastic also puts like the Tamazos and whatnot. And then I have plus 297s. Basically, in the 297 folder, this is where I store my extra 297s. Like basically completed 297s that I can feed off to whoever I need to. So basically it's a way for me to just keep track very quickly who or how many pluses I have to spare. So at this point in time, I have 25 297s ready to go. I have unlocked the Maniac badge for 100 297s, so I am able to utilize the highest amount of recovery or health possible. So that's basically how I sort my box, generally speaking, because I know what I need to work on. I don't really pull very often. I don't really have good luck pulling, so I usually get one thing and it's already done as soon as it's popped out. Because in my mailbox folder, I actually have just, well, some requests, but I have just tons and tons and tons of, like, rewards. And I was my own best friend 742 days ago. But the idea is, like, I have enough resources to get anything I want maxed out immediately, so I don't really have a work-in-progress folder. I know people like my mom and other players do use work-in-progress folders because they are beneficial to them because they want to keep track of what they're working on. So I will showcase my completed 297s on cards. This has sorted out all the 297s that are just fodder, basically fed away. So I had played quite a bit of Krishna in the past, as well as Shiva, and that's partially why there's so many red cards that are 297. I have a Shiva Dragon. I don't use it very often. I thought I would use it more. I really didn't, but I do still have 800 or so thousand monster points. I lied, 586. But I have more than enough monster points to buy anything if I had something that was desirable. In terms of water, my water pool is actually quite deep, mostly because I have played water teams quite extensively on this account. Most notably, I started out with basically Yumasachi Yamasachi back in the day when it was actually quite powerful, and that was the top leader for Fantastic when they were a young account before co-op mode existed. And it worked pretty well, so that's why I have quite a few water cards 297. I have Yumasachi Yamasachis, whoops, and duplicates. And then I transitioned into Mary. And Mary has been one of the most reliable leaders for myself. She's great at farming. Like, in co-op, she has to play in co-op, but in co-op, she's one of the strongest leaders I have because she's fast, she's efficient, hits hard, and she's quite stable. In terms of farming, I could easily farm Arena 3 with her, and this is like in early 2017, so new cards have come out, so it's easier. I farm Coliseum with Mary still to this point because Mary is still the most consistent, and also because I actually have Machine Killer Latents on a lot of my water subs, and those Machine Killer Latents make it so Coliseum is significantly easier because virtually every spawn has machine typing, and therefore you're going to be dealing significantly higher damage. I swap my inherits around as I need to, and the team I have for Coliseum farming can be found on my website. You could probably just Google Mantastic Coliseum and it should come up. And Hermes was actually the starter monster I had, so that's probably partially why Hermes was also invested in. In terms of wood, the wood box is kind of weakish outside of having Liu Bei and Zeus Dioses, along with the supporting cards like Astaroth, Avalon Drake, and the Kaede is just plus out for some strange reason, but basically I just farm SDRs. I'll show you my teams after I go through all the 297s. Tengu makes sense. I played a bit of Ace Bastet. I should make it reincarnated, but I don't see the need to. I have Kusanagi Hime, and she's just better. In terms of light, I have a Sakuya. Sakuya was the first leader on Mantastic, so I played Sakuya as well in this account. That's why it's also maxed out. I played quite a bit of Miru as well back in the day, and that's why there's quite a good strength of light cards. I have 3 Orpharians, light Orpharians, and I have 1 dark Orpharian done. I just haven't evolved it yet, but maybe I'll do that later on this box tour. So I could make 4 Orpharians in total. I think I have the parts for 6.5, but I just have bad luck of part distribution. I actually have 3 Hakus on both my accounts, which is surprising, but then again, it is an older card, and I tend to have lots of the older cards available. I also have a Claire, which does kind of flip-flop between the team or not, depending on if I need to carry a an inherit that needs to charge up faster, because Haku does have a longer charge-up time of 9 versus 5 turns, so it depends on the dungeon you are playing and how many skill boosts you have available. I like Dark in general, it feels like. I do have a lot of strong Dark teams. I did use Pandora before at the time. I love Dark Metatron. Dark Metatron is probably one of my favorite teams to play, even though she's tricky and requires a lot more micromanagement by comparison. I used Yomi Dragon back in the day because Yomi Dragon was actually quite powerful. Still a great support card now, but it's not used as often, I feel, just because there are stronger things available. But it does make a pretty fast team. 5 orbs for 81 times damage is pretty amazing. So I'm just going to show you what my box looks like without the pluses filter. So I tend to hoard things. I generally have a lot of the Descend bosses either evolved or at least present and ready to go in case there's a new evolution, in case I pull a new card that needs something evolved. So I have a full Scarlet system. One is not max leveled. I should probably do that one day. But I have the full Scarlet system. I did that a long time ago. It didn't really do much for me. I used it like once or twice. I'm like, that was fun. And that's all I get to do with it. Maybe I used it, I think, for... I don't know what I used it for. It was fun to have, but it didn't really have much practical applications. I have the red Tamazos. I might have another one. I don't know how many were given out. I also have the... I never made the King Mastering on this account, I realized. I kind of got halfway through and I kind of said, no, I did it on Mantastic and I'm good for now. Let's see. I showed you a lot of my water cards. Blue Sonya is quite powerful. Again, I used Blue Sonya before when she was relevant. She's kind of fallen off. With her new evolution, which I'm going to talk about in my next article, it does improve a lot of things, but it does take away her health aspect, which was kind of one of her signature things. But again, you have something to look forward to in that review later on. I actually have a lot of Sumire, so I could have a Sumire system if it was interesting to me. I have the Lumiel, well, I have the Famiels, and I got 1 Lumiel further down. Again, I like to hoard stuff in general. This Max Skilled Hera was one of my proudest achievements. Back when Pad first came out, I sealed it up under 2 times rates. It took me weeks, months to do it, and it was so painful, but I managed to get it done. And to be fair, I still use her quite often because a 30% gravity is still great. It's a fantastic way to bypass resolve floors, and it's just useful overall because it's only a 15-turn cooldown. And this account has not been blessed with many gravity inherits. Just looking through, I have too many Mels, and I say, oh, Mel, no. I just, no. It makes me sad inside knowing those could have been something else. I have some wood cards. I made some reincarnated ones like Freya and Artemis, but I don't use them, so I never leveled them up. I have Vishnu, don't use it, so I never really loved it very much. Have a second Perseus. I'll probably make that second Perseus the other TPA form, but then again, I don't really use wood TPA teams because even though Real does exist, I don't have a Real, so it doesn't really work out that well. I'm not a huge fan of Vishnu as a leader. It's just like Sarasvati, who doesn't hit hard and has recovery. Let's see. I got some Tengus. I kind of half-assed working on a second Tengu just to have it ready for the skill boost. But with Avalon Drake, I don't need to have a second Tengu as badly unless I need to carry an inherit, because Avalon Drake also has 4 skill boosts, but he also has offensive awakenings, which help to a certain extent, but then Lube does tend to have more than enough damage. I have an extra Lube, so with this extra Lube, I'm going to make it reincarnated, so I have options. If you only have one Lube, you should always, always, always keep it in his awoken form, because his awoken form has the wood attribute subtyping, and that wood attribute is important for farming certain dungeons, because if there is a light absorb and you get a light skyfall, you are going to lose, and it's not a fun experience. So you're just more safe and consistent, because generally speaking, 64 times with so many rows is enough damage to kill everything anyways. It would make, say, Special Descend Rush a little easier if you did not have an ideal setup. Like, for instance, I have the setup where I have, like, some Dragon Killers on my side, so I don't need to have the 64, need to have Reincarnated for that. But then again, if you have duplicates, I encourage you to at least make one of each. You'll have options there. I have more Lubes. I don't know why. Let's see. In terms of light, I have one Raw. I got the Apollo, DQXQ. I have Miru. There's my 3 Orpharians. I can make Dark Orpharians soon. Or maybe I'll make it now, actually, after I scroll through. Just showing you what I have in my box is the main idea. I have the Arthurs. I have extra Arthurs. I might just use those Arthurs for plus eggs, because I already have 2 Arthurs done, and those 2 Arthurs are used for start end farming. I have a lot of these Melissas, which were nice. I don't know why I kept so many around. I don't need that many buttons. I have so many different buttons available. And to be fair, Rod Tamadras tend to be the fastest because there's no additional animation. Have some Chocobos. Might have another one in my mailbox somewhere. In terms of Dark, I've got 2 Zerog... Well, I got 2 max skilled Zerog Infinities. One there, one there. And then I have a third one that's just chilling out in case I ever purchase something that... or some monster in the future needs him as an evolution material, and I have them. I have one to go right away. Like I said, I like to be prepared. Like, I just like having those things at the ready so I can utilize them in those evolutions. I have the No Banana, which haunted my Player's Choice Godfest across my accounts. I have 5 of those. I didn't farm very much. I should have played more, I feel like. I can make the Dark Orpharian, though, because I have the Orpharian parts. And there's not too much to see. The rest is just stuff I just keep around. I could probably sell a bunch of those things off, but it's not too important. So let us see. We are going to evolve and make Dark Exodia, because, you know, why not? Where am I? So, oops. I didn't play enough of it. I have the parts to make lots of Exodias, but I have poor distribution, whoops, because I have 13 pieces, so that means in theory I can make 3 more, but unfortunately I only can make 1 at this point in time. So let us summon Dark Exodia, because he is pretty awesome. So you can skill him up with the boss drops where you need, like, the head that you get is his skill up material. I had some of the awakenings because I got Seraphis partially awoken already, so it just carried over in the transition. So I'll show you what he looks like. I will show you what he looks like. I don't like that feature, how it takes me out of the screen. So where is that new card? There you are. So he is kind of like Light Orpharian, except tankier in that he actually multiplies attributes for machine types in terms of health as well as recovery. So you have a 2.25 times health team with recovery, along with 7.5 times 1.5, so massive damage potential with dark combos. He's bind immune. He actually has a lot of health, but in actuality, Light Orpharian actually has more health than Dark Orpharian has more attack and recovery. And for at least Mantastic and his Anubis team, I am actually using Light Orpharian as a sub instead of Dark Orpharian, because I want that extra health cushion, because there's so much health on Light Orpharian. It's, well, I should show you the one about Inherit, actually. Like, there's almost 7,000 health. Like, that's a huge amount of health. It's going to help you survive a lot of hits. They have the same awakenings, though, overall. I'll just show you quickly, like, my Orpharian collection. I have 11 heads. I don't know why I keep them. I like to hoard evolution materials. I have lots of box space. I just keep adding sometimes. So I just like to hoard things. Like, I just like to have things ready to go immediately. I've got a nice, healthy 40 skill delay resist. I've been playing that in the downtime while I wait for more exciting dungeons. I have some killer latents. I played 100, 200 Arena 3 clears, and then they introduced killer latents as well as the bonus experience. So I was kind of burned out at that point. I was like, why do you do this now? I could have had So many killer latents. I have a bunch of dark resists. I have color resists. I have lots of latents just chilling out. A bunch of Tamadras. 228 Tamadras. I clearly have nothing to... I don't have things to work on. I keep beating stuff, but I don't actually roll well. So that's a lot of Tamadras. So I'm ready if I ever get a lot of nice toys. In terms of monster experience, I like to sort it by experience value. I have lots of red snow globes, not lots of dark, some light, a bit of wood. Again, I just have lots of monster experience ready to go in case I ever actually need to evolve someone. Lots of tans ready, lots of peas, pies, 35 there. I probably have another 25 to 52 shine peas. I probably another 25 plus in my mailbox of each color if I sort by monsters. Let's see. Where are the peas at? Okay, so let's start here. Let's start Flampy Lake. Wow, so many Flampies. So like, if I start here, I can scroll down and I just keep going and going and going and going. Like I have, like I said, about 20, 25 of each color there. So like I have a lot of peas just sitting out, and in theory things are going to expire at some point in time. 69 days. I need to use these soon, I think. I'll look into that later. And then last but not least, I'll show you my teams and then friends list. So these are the teams I'm currently using. I keep Kusanagi Hime or someone in slot 1 that people like. I put Miru in once in a while because Miru is still popular, it's still farmable, still accessible, still can clear lots of endgame content. This team was used for something. I put the Sakuya in, I think it was an all-attribute dungeon, so I used that team setup. This team was used to farm Dark Orpharian. Whoops, this is my special descent, or my SDR farming team for Mantastic. Mantastic has 3 Dioses plus a Parvati for the killers. A Dark Athena team, pretty standard. I will put the Haku in later at some point probably. Dark Metatron, that Zuo should not be there, but I put it there for all attributes because I was doing something with all attributes, and I had nothing wood and dark. Leyland, this should be a button team. I think I inherited something. I'm inheriting the normal button leader, so I just put Leyland as a placeholder to remind myself that I should have something else there. I play around with inherits quite a bit. This is my start end team. Basically what I do is I pop Arthur. It puts my health down to 1. In theory, if I had, like, say, Devil Bonefishes, it does nuke. I just use Red Odins because they look prettier. And then Arthur again, Zeus Dios. It's 4 buttons plus a Dios board swipe, so there's only 1 actual matching, so it's quite quick and efficient. The other side brings skill boost. I had a Scarlet team. This was Farming Machine Hera for Mary. Shiva Dragon when I was doing the challenge mode. Tricolor challenge is quite easy with Shiva Dragon. It doesn't actually require much effort overall, and you can just match a red or dark TPA and things die. And I just got this new team slot, so I haven't put anything there yet. I haven't named it anything. So now we're going to come to my friends list, and that will basically conclude my box tour. So Mantastic does have basically a full 300 friends list. I have 1 space left. If you want to best friend me, I will definitely accept you. Presently speaking, I have a few best friends. Let me see, approximately 130, approximately. Mantastic's maybe 175, maybe more. But I tend to at least delete inactive people. I need to get rid of some of those best friends. At least the 105-day friend I need to get rid of. Nasty will be gone. Like, I tend to delete people quickly. I know who Tiffany is. They're having phone issues, so I'm not going to delete them. I know who Majorus is. Chrono, I'm not sure who you are, so you might get the boot soon. But I tend to delete friends after about a week of inactivity, and best friends after 60-odd days. So I will have a bit of space. If you want to best friend me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day. Let me know how close you are to rank 800. Have you passed it? What keeps you motivated to play Puzzle & Dragons? I wish you all the best of luck, and happy puzzling.